Good afternoon, everybody. It is 1:10 p.m. in Philadelphia, and I wanted to do a brief video for you just to make sure that people understand exactly what the goal is for this particular Community Health 2 class, and how to get yourself established in an agency and how to identify your community. And I'll give you a couple of examples of some programs that I have done in the community. The first thing is generally you will partner with a health agency, or you might go to a recreation center that has a social worker, or a church that has a community outreach person. All of those are acceptable people. And then once you're in that community, you need to identify a subset community that share a problem or share a health issue. One that you can do that I did when I was doing my master's program is African American males who had hypertensive issues. However, they would not use their meds. They were non-compliant with their meds. And, once I began to talk with them and understand a little bit about why they were non-compliant with their meds, and it was simply because they made them impotent. And if you think about any 20 to 45, 50-year-old male, they don't particularly want that side effect. So we actually addressed it in two beats. We identified two problems. The first problem was that they were non-compliant because this made them impotent, and they didn't know how to talk to their doctors about that. So lack of education about approaching their physicians to get their medications changed. And then the second problem was other ways to combat the hypertension or to lessen the hypertension by using diet and exercise and such. I was lucky these guys were playing basketball, so they all exercised fairly regularly. There is not much data that really is specific to African American people of any sort, and that is because they're very hesitant to participate in research studies. So enough said about that. I will tell you another example. I also did a group of community members through my church, actually, that needed a gun lock program because we had had 2 shootings in a very brief period of time of little kids getting a hold of guns that were in the household. And the parents thought that they were perfectly safe because they had put them away. But kids are curious, and they got a hold of the guns and inadvertently shot, one shot himself and one shot his little brother. This was not a good thing. Fortunately, nobody died. But we did a gun lock program, and I reached out to the community liaison police officer, and the police department was actually able to give me gun locks. And then we gathered people together, and we had a program about gun locks and handed out about 25, which I was really pleased with. One thing I will tell you, when you do your educational program, if you need people to come, provide some food. So with my African American males, I did healthy snacks, veggies and dip and non-salted kinds of things. And with my other group, I just did an afternoon snack. I showed them 2 or 3 things that they could do for their kids' afternoon snacks or put in their lunch bag. So it worked sort of a double whammy there, and I tried to educate them on both. I also had a friend who went to black barbershops where they would have a gathering of older black men that sort of sat around and shot the breeze on Saturday mornings. And she did a program about prostate cancer. I think she went to 1 or 2, but she did catch somebody who went to his doctor, upon examination, found something that didn't feel right, went to his doctor, and he was actually diagnosed. So that was a really cool thing for her to have instigated. So I'm hoping that this helps you a little bit understand what we're after here. And then as you work on it, you can put your program hours down. I'd like to know what agencies you are affiliated with. And I want you all to write me an email and tell me about that. So you find your agency, you identify a subset or a community that has a problem in common or an issue in common. And then you do a full assessment of that group, find out exactly what the issues are and how you're going to address them. I'm hoping that this is clearer. If you continue to have questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a healthcare agency. And your presentation cannot be to healthcare professionals. It must be to the community. So let me know if you're having problems. And otherwise, I am hoping that we can get these projects underway and you can have a successful conclusion. Thanks.